Alright, so welcome to my weekly vlog, and today we're just going to talk about, or tonight actually because it's dark out, we're going to talk about what we did the last couple weeks and then what we're going to do this week. So I'm kind of planning this so that you guys get the vlog and then you get me explaining what we're doing, showing you in a video, and then you'll see some clips from my students actually implementing those exercises. So you'll actually hear me say the same things multiple times if you watch all the clips, so that way hopefully it'll stick with you a little bit more. That's kind of how I run my program. Every week we have a different topic, and we do the same thing with I do the same thing with all the students. And some may be more complicated than others. I may ask for more with other students, and that way we're learning something new every week. And sometimes we'll have to go back and review them. But I hope as a follower or a fan of our YouTube channel, you'll be able to follow along too and actually learn some from my videos. So the last couple weeks we did flexion, flexing left and right, getting the horse a little bit more quicker, responding to the rein. Then we did turn on the haunches. I hope to get a video out of me actually explaining that step by step and a little bit clearer. Right now I just have all the clips out, so hopefully get that out this week. And this coming week, because today is Sunday, so tomorrow morning I start teaching a lesson and we're going to talk about doing nothing. And there's a really good book, and I think it's Linda Tellington-Jones that wrote a book on riding and doing nothing. And the idea is that you want to stop putting all the aids on to confuse the horse. Again, just bringing it back to simple so the horse can understand it. So that way you don't have a little bit inside leg, a lot of outside leg, and right rein, and you're not doing all these other things, that you've just kind of simplified it back down. So the exercise we're going to do this week, I'm actually going to use the standards and the poles behind me. It's just a jump on the quarter line. First, my students will actually review the flexion and the turn on the forehand. It was a little bit clearer to them to turn on the forehand, so we'll probably go back and review the turn on the hind end in the next couple of weeks. They're also going to practice that all for the next couple of weeks while we do these different exercises in their warm-ups, because having control of the shoulders and the haunches is a step towards a flying change, which hopefully, if everybody gets it, we'll be moving on to that. So the exercise behind me, depending on the level of the rider, I'm going to have them trot down either a series of poles or having a jump there. And what I'm going to ask them to do to start with is going to be 2-point over the poles, and then I want them to halt at the end of the line without sitting down. I want them to use their base, and I'm going to work towards getting them to actually halt without sitting and pulling on the reins. I'm going to get them to use their shoulders back. I'm going to get them to set a little deeper in their heels. I'm going to get them to use their eye, and I'm going to get, to use their body, their other aids that they can use besides just pulling on the rein. To have a horse come into a nice jump and jump nice for you, you kind of have to be out of the way. So my students have to learn how to trust the horse to go to the jump, how to trust their balance in the 2-point, and how to not pull. And over the last few weeks when we did all of the different rein exercises, I really learned that there's a lot more pulling than I can actually see. So I'm trying to take that out this week. For the more advanced riders, it won't just be pulls. There'll be a jump. They'll have to stay in their 2-point, and they'll try to halt at the end of the ring without pulling. The next step, those are jumping every single week with me. We'll work on actually throwing our hands forward and letting the horse find its own distance, because that's really important in the hunter ring, is that you're not holding to the fence and then they're jumping and then you're falling on their face. You got to have your own balance. You got to let them find their own distance, jump nice out, and you just kind of have to be a passenger for those couple of strides before and after until you try and influence them. So to review, we're going to talk about doing nothing, not using a lot of aids. We're going to practice that by staying up in our 2-point, staying deep in our heels, using the half halt through the shoulders, deeper in the heels in our eye level, and we're also going to do that over the jump by allowing the horse. So you can do this with one single jump, because that's all we're going to use this week. It's just a single jump, and they can trot up to it, they can canter up to it, they can halt at either end of the ring. You can add in your turn on the forehand if you want. After you halt, sit, turn on the forehand, and then trot back, coming back towards the jump instead of going around the ring and coming from the same side. And hopefully I'll have some good clips and some good video to show you guys for this week. If you have any questions about the exercise we're going to do this week, feel free to comment, and hopefully I can answer all of them. Thanks for watching.